Hi everyone, Scribbler Johnny checking in before we continue Idle Singer Uncle Scott. And with this selection of pages, I do not have all of them at a uniform size because of the resources I had available at the time of writing back in 2019 when I was still in prison. So please be patient with me while I cope with that once we get to the actual reading of those pages that are the unusual size, because they are also um, formatted differently from a completely different source of paper rather than standard college ruled loose leaf. So, yeah, I have to flip the page vertically rather than horizontally to read the next lines. And so it the banality of a Scribbler Johnny chapter. All right, but as we continue, we will spend some more time with Hitomi and learning about her as a person, and also to spend some time with Mega, who is one of her colleagues. And we will continue now without further time wasting. We are in chapter 3 of Idle Singer Uncle Scott, which was written in 2019 by me, Scribbler Johnny. I don't think I'll do it. I don't enjoy AV work. I'd rather just be able to have loving sex. The money isn't as good as one would hope for the trouble that it will cause me anyway, Scott said. I'll tell him. Mega will be disappointed. She's a fan. Most of the time, she just yells and waves her gun around when we're filming. This would have been her first real scene in the series. Hitomi-chan, you're making me want to do it so that she doesn't get disappointed. Oh. Hitomi walked to look out the window. What if it was me and Mega and not Kabi? I'd have a hard time lasting. You know how I was. Hitomi smiled, and a flush spread on her cheeks. You were already in love with me. I made you come like that, and she snapped her fingers. The second time you lasted, and we had that cream pie shot, and some clever editing was there to save the day. She laughed a little. Mega is not me, though. So we'll have you do her first so that you can finish in me again, and I will be very sexy. And I'll have your O face on film forever. She sighed. You're okay being tied to a chair, right? It will be basically rape, but it's okay because you love me, and I'm sure you'll like Mega. Right, but my character isn't in love with your character. You will be. You sound like you really want to do it, Scott said. I've made up my mind. If you agree, we'll insist on that so that Kongo-san has to agree. Kabi can watch or not be in the scene. She crossed over to kiss him then. Let's rehearse, Shah-san. I want to be sure I can do it right. Last as long as you can, okay? She smiled and pushed him down to his bed. He did last longer than her, but a minute later, maybe less, it was over for them both. Hitomi wiped the sweat from her forehead and smiled in bliss. Best yet, was all she said. My best? Yours? Scott asked. Hitomi didn't reply. She just lay herself on his chest, and gave him another kiss. I'm going to enjoy the faces Mega makes. I know you'll rock her world, Hitomi finally said. What did you mean, best yet? Scott insisted. You took me to heaven, darling. That's what I meant. And then she nodded off. Scott softly rolled her over and pulled one side of the blanket to cover her. He went to the bathroom to clean up, and then he looked up Mega and Kabi Kaneko on Hitomi's company website. Mega was the name of the character, played by Kotono Megami. Her bio said that she was a supporting actress who had yet to be shown nude, much less to perform any sex scenes. He might make her career. As for Kabi-san, she was as Hitomi had described, with an aristocratic kind of beauty. Her only credits were as the villainous Yuki in the Lesbian Commandos series. She sometimes wore a white wig. Some fans had requested Mega to have a hardcore scene. He sighed. He had to now. He had to try and help her career and make fans happy. He was still a fucking people pleaser, even after his big self-actualization dream. He dozed beside her. Hitomi admitted to herself that she wanted a collection of videos of her and Scott together for when they were apart. Boyfriend porn, well, that was just the best. Maybe, if he kept performing, it would help him remember that it was a job and not get jealous or depressed that she kept having sex with all these people. Tomorrow, she had some more shoots for the drama. She looked at his phone while he dozed. His calendar showed a photo shoot for tomorrow with someone named Akira. That was a unisex name. Hitomi looked up the phone numbers for Junko and Ayame. She could pretend to be friends until she learned what she needed to ruin that relationship. Scott belonged to her, not them. He was hers first. He just hadn't confessed his love until later. And what did he even see in these girls? Hitomi was taller, closer to his age, sexier, richer, and she kept his secrets. Their relationship was a house built on a rock. Brick by brick, their love had grown. Scott woke, so she kissed him to put him at ease. I was just looking up the contact info for Ayame and Junko. I want us to be friends, she explained. Scott smiled. I want that too. No need for jealousy. I'm not going to Rome. I have Hitomi-chan and Junko-chan and Ayame-chan. I'm a very happy man. Hitomi-chan loves you, she said, and gave him a kiss. I decided I'll do it, he said. Oh, good. Mega will be happy, and Hitomi will be happy, she replied. Scott back to work on his fan mail. Hitomi texted the girls introducing herself and her intentions. Lots of form replies in his mail, thankfully. Hitomi kept smiling as she texted with Scott's other women. But Scott only saw the smiles. He didn't ask what she was doing, setting a good example for respecting privacy. Hitomi asked Ayame, if you need voice talent for a game you design, can I record for you? Ayame replied, sure. Nobody will say no to that. I'm planning out a Yuri-style visual novel. Junko is helping to write it. Junko is writing a women's love story? Interesting, Hitomi replied. Yes, I'm already coming up with some character ideas. I plan on there being a murder mystery element, Ayame had sent. Hitomi agreed that it sounded interesting. She put her phone away. Scotto, let's go out to eat. It's my treat, she said. Scott took a deep breath. That sounds great. Thank you, darling, he replied, and he looked around for a hat. Hitomi looked into his closet and she saw a knit cap. Oh, wear this. It will help keep your ears warm, she said. Scott took it with a smile. Hitomi knew Scott secretly wanted to be taken care of because of all the times he had been all alone. He wanted to give up control to a woman that he trusted. If she tied him up, would that make him more comfortable than if he had allowed the expert Natsu, their on staff specialist, to do it? Hitomi had learned the art of shibari. She'd do it properly. But she dismissed these thoughts and gave him a hug from behind after he put on his coat. She lay her face against him and squished her boobs against him. I love you, she said. My happiness is like a big tree that will grow and grow. Scott held her hands in one of his big hands. I love you too. Where will we go? He replied. I have a surprise. Did she ever? She drove him to Let's Adventure. It took him a moment to realize where she was leading him after they had parked. Ayame didn't work that day, so there was that to consider. Scott was not thrilled to be at the theme cafe, but he didn't complain. Hitomi wasn't quite sure what her plan was, but making Ayame jealous would be part of it. They were seated in the area that was being worked by Dark Angel Anisha, who she saw was an African American woman, judging by her English. The slut kissed Scott when she gave him his menu. Hitomi was speechless. She looked at the woman's retreating form and then at Scott. She kissed you on the lips, she said finally. Part of the act. Dark Angel Anisha is trying to turn Uncle Scott to the dark side, he replied, looking over his menu. Is that some race thing? I didn't think you were that way. But no, no. See, there is also Dark Angel Mitsu, and they're evil and trying to turn others to evil, including Uncle Scott, Scott explained. But the show isn't going on. She kissed you and you kissed her in front of me. Oh, Hitomi-chan, I'm not dating any of these girls. To me, it's just a show. I don't have any feelings for any of them. Hitomi nodded. All right. It shocked me, though. Scott took her hand. I'm not looking for anyone. He promised. I am very happy with who I have in my life. Just wait till you meet Mega. She might try to take you away, Hitomi teased. Oh, she's going to fall in love. I know it. Scott is too sexy for a fat girl like her. Hey, don't be mean to her, Scott said. Well, I just mean you're so sexy, she replied, but it sounded lame even to her. She knew that she had been making fun of Mega for her weight and her shape. I hope she does good work and she can have more roles in the future, Scott added. Hitomi nodded at this. Anisha brought them their orders and then used her magic to make the food especially good. She gave Scott a bottle of hot sauce and also some mayonnaise. Know you like mayo, she said. All you white folks do. She smiled. But I also brought the hot sauce just in case. This here is my personal bottle. Thanks, Anisha, Scott replied. Hitomi appraised her. Good body. You try AV jobs before? She asked in broken English. Anisha flushed. Anisha, this is Hitomi Togawa. She's an AV star, Scott explained. Oh, I'll take it as a compliment then. No, I haven't ever done that kind of work before. If you ever want to try, my company pays well and treats performers with respect. Hitomi said, switching to Japanese, and gave her a business card. Maybe we might convince Scott to do a scene with you. Would you like that? Hitomi asked. Anisha stammered about other customers and hurried to return to the kitchen. What the fuck was that? Scott demanded. Hitomi looked innocent. I was just being honest. She does have a good body, and you could be persuaded to do a scene with her. In America, there is shame for acting in adult videos, and some people are still very sensitive about race things. You embarrassed her, saying that I'd need to be convinced to perform with her, as if she wasn't good enough. It's just work. It's not real sex, Hitomi replied. Yeah, well, she's not in the business. Maybe she doesn't know that. Oh, I see. Should I apologize? Hmm. Let me do it in English to make sure that she understands. If you think that's best, Hitomi agreed. Inwardly, she knew exactly what she had done. Teach Anisha to kiss her man out in public. She would treat her like the whore she was behaving. Scott walked to the kitchen. Hitomi smirked as he left. Hitomi's man is a good dog, making everyone nice and happy. Never forget who holds his leash, she thought. Scott was able to find Anisha. He was allowed access to the kitchen by virtue of his celebrity. He might even be able to stroll into the dressing room, but he would never do something like that. Nisha, listen, Hitomi didn't mean anything, about the job offer and stuff. She said she's sorry if she offended you. Here, it's more like just a job. People don't look down on the performers the same way, Scott said in English. Anisha studied him. You really believe that, don't you? He nodded. Scott, when she talked about you and me performing together, she was definitely insulting me. Because I'm black, because she's territorial about you, because she thinks I'm beneath both of you. I'll accept her apology for you, but just for you. Wake up and smell the cat food, Scott. What? Cat, Scott. She's a mean, pissy cat. Anisha sighed. Look, your life ain't my business, I know, but she's got claws, and none of us want to see you get hurt. Stick with that Ayame and Junko. They're safe. The show starts soon. I gotta go. She gave him another peck on the cheek and walked past. We're not at kissing on the lips anymore? He asked, feeling hurt. What did I do? Please return to your table, Uncle Scott, asked a woman that he didn't know. She was dressed in a pink Lolita fashion dress and also a bonnet. You can kiss me if you want. My name is Little Miss Cake. Scott chuckled at the name. He gave her a quick peck and returned to his table. All smoothed over? Hitomi asked. Yeah, Scott replied, but he still felt uneasy. Music began to play, and Little Miss Cake skipped out and introduced herself to different customers. She skipped to each table rather than just walking, and she set down a folded paper fan with the Let's Adventure logo on the face of them. These fans are presents to all my friends. They will protect you from evil magic. And then she skipped away. The Dark Angels, Anisha and Mitsu, made their entrance. That traitor Venus Yayoi is around here somewhere, said Mitsu. Tell us where she is, all of you. They stalked around the cafe, sneering at everybody, sometimes menacing them with their magic wands. You know where Yayoi is, don't you? Anisha demanded, pointing her wand at Hitomi. Hitomi shook her head no. You, Uncle Scott. I know you know where she's hiding, smooching her all the time. Mitsu made mocking kissy faces. How about it, Scott? Want my evil kiss? I have seen the darkness in you, Mitsu asked. Scott hid behind the fan. Little Miss Cake is here? Asked Mitsu, backing away. And then Venus Yayoi appeared. Stop bullying my friends, Dark Angels, she shouted. They whirled with their wands outstretched. All alone again, Venus Yayoi. We won't just turn you evil this time. We're going to hurt you first. Traitors get punished, Anisha said. Together, the two dark angels pointed their wands down at hell and then again at Yayoi. Punishment lash, they shouted, and Yayoi shrieked in pain. Help her, Uncle Scott, a patron shouted. I have no power. I can't, Scott replied. Yayoi fell to one knee. You don't enjoy hurting me. Deep down, you're good girls, she said. Punishment, they shouted again. Yayoi rocked from the pain and shrieked again. Scott watched. He knew it was just a show, but he wanted to do something. Still, he said that he would just be an observer, just a customer. Hitomi sipped her tea. Little Miss Cake ran forward to shield Venus Yayoi from the next attack. She helped her to her feet, holding a fan before her. Don't hurt her any more, Cake begged. Yayoi nodded at Cake. She stepped up, with her wand held across her chest. Little Miss Cake brandished a paper fan. Okay, both of you get it now, Mitsu snapped. From hell's darkness we strike! The dark angels said, struck a pose, holding hands, and then brandished their wands. Everyone, hold out your fans! Reflect the evil magic, Cake implored. The patrons, Scott included, held up their paper fans. Some lights flashed, and the two dark angels shrieked in pain. They supported each other. Oh, you win this time. We'll be back, said Anisha. And finally, Scott finished his meal. Hitomi had already been done. Scott watched Hitomi pay for their meal. A young man asked for their autographs, and Scott agreed. Said if anyone else wanted, they could also get autographs too. Hitomi was surprised at how many women asked for hers. Do women like female AV performers? She asked. My ex did. Her favorite were, you know, older performers like Mai Lin and also you, Scott replied. Interesting. I never get fan mail from women. Maybe they think it's embarrassing? I don't know. I've never been a Japanese woman. I couldn't tell you how it is for them. I still have so much to learn about how Japanese people think, Scott replied. You certainly do, darling, Hitomi thought. She left him at his hotel room to read her script. The drama shooting was going smoothly, and her schedule was still flexible. She sent a text message to director Kongo that Scott had agreed to bring Tony Gaijin out of retirement. She had plans for her and Tony. The next day, Scott went to visit Akira during her photo shoot. He arrived shortly before the finish. It was very informal, which took him by surprise. Akira noticed him and winked before facing the camera again. Akira-chan, can we get another wink, please? Asked the photographer. She obliged her. Now, for the last, can we have the ball? The photographer asked. An assistant handed the ball to Akira. She pretended she was inflating it, and then the last pose had her holding it to the side and smiling big. Great. Thank you, everyone. That's all for today, the photographer said, and then she noticed Scott. He nodded to her and held out his arms for Akira. She gave him a rather bouncy hug with some laughing. I'm so glad you came to see me, Scott. She introduced him to her agent, the photographer, and her mother. Akira asked him to wait while she changed, and nobody spoke to him. He supposed his recent press might still be fresh in their minds, and it would have felt awkward to talk to him. Or maybe they had no idea who he was. Either way, he had no complaints for being left alone. Akira rejoined him and favored him with another big smile. So how is modeling going? He asked. Oh, it's great. Usually bikini girls start younger than me, but being a former singer smoothed that over. I have another shoot next month to be published just in time for White Day, Akira said. And then she pulled him close to whisper, I'm going to go nude for the first time with some chocolates. It's very naughty, right? Scott didn't know how to react, so he smiled. So, your friend gave you some good chocolate and you want to give him a treat too? Is that it? He asked. I don't know. I just know I'm going to have chocolate pieces on my boobs. Maybe on my butt too. We'll see. She pulled back to speak normally again. Let's get some coffee or some cocoa, Uncle Scott. I want to tell you what it's like to graduate. Scott agreed. And so, in the company car that he was driving, he drove Akira and her still silent mother to an overpriced cafe that had shaped marshmallows in their drinks and homemade baklava. What will you have, Hoshino-san? It's my treat, Scott asked Akira's mother. She said to Akira, tell him I don't speak English and that I would like a cappuccino. He's been speaking Japanese the whole time, Mom, Akira replied. Scott ordered a cappuccino and two of the most ridiculous mugs of hot cocoa in the world. These things were almost a meal. Elaborate does not cover. The prices reflected this. As they sat to wait for their order, Akira began to tell Scott about her graduation and her new chapter in life now that she was no longer a singer. A lot of fans were sad, and so was Asuka. She cried, and then it set me off, but it was a happy time, really. I received a few marriage proposals, but I ignored them all. There's only one husband for me. Scott smiled. Well, that's good news. Do I know him? You, she said. Scott looked at her mother. Don't look at her. It's between us, Akira said. I never knew you felt that way, Scott replied. Oh, please. When I fell into your arms crying and squishing my boobs in your face? When I asked you to help me with my dancing and we did that tango? I was throwing myself at you. Akira, I was just helping out. I help a lot of girls. So many fall in love with you, too. I guess the usual doesn't affect you. I guess not. I haven't been young for a long time. I don't know how to play the game. Scott, though, you don't have to worry. I know it's just a crush. I wanted to tell you, though. Mercifully, their order was ready. Scott picked up the tray, which came with some biscotti, compliments of the manager. Coffee Classmates was a rewarding experience. Even though we were gothic, it was basically the same as the others, just songs about feeling misunderstood and coffee instead of candy. Once I graduated, I went back to my hometown. A lot of people were bitter instead of happy for me. Maybe it's a Hokkaido thing. Lots of Americans hate me, Scott added. Akira nodded sadly. So, after a vacation, I connected my agency, got back to work. My mom's just visiting. She'll be on the bullet train tonight, right, Mom? And then it was time for the cocoa. Concentration was a must. Also, spoons, plural. 1/3 of his was left unfinished. I think I have instant diabetes now, he sighed. I hate to leave anything unfinished, but it's just too much. Akira smiled. You're so sweet naturally. I have 3 girlfriends, Scott replied. See, he's a dog. You don't want him, her mother said from behind her coffee mug. He speaks Japanese, Mom. He just heard you insult him, Akira replied. I am not a dog, Hoshino-san. I told Akira about my girlfriends to explain that I don't want any more, even though she is beautiful and a nice girl. We're friends, and I'm serious about my relationships, and all 3 women know each other. I'm not sneaking around on my girlfriends, Scott replied. Have a nice day, Akira-san. I'd better go. He stood up. Scott, though, please don't go. Just ignore my stupid country mom. Scott shook his head. I have to prepare for a trip. He left. That he hadn't needed. Flirting on one side, insults on the other. He called Ayame for instructions on how to get to her place. I'm working, so let yourself in, okay? She said at the end of the call. Scott let himself into her apartment and locked the door behind him. He took off his shoes and looked for Ayame. She was working with a stylus and a USB tablet connected to a tiny laptop. Drawing, he guessed. Ayame was wearing glasses. He'd never seen her wear a pair before. He sat down behind her and put his arms around her middle and waited. She was drawing a petite girl with long hair and purple lipstick. So far, the lipstick was all that was colored in the picture. His interest wandered, and so did his hands. Ayame didn't seem to mind. He daydreamed that she had an identical twin sister, and that it was her that he was fondling, to be discovered by Ayame. Ayako, stop letting my boyfriend grope you, she said in his imagination. Don't stop. I haven't been touched by a man for a long time, Ayako said. Scott smiled. Well, maybe he was a dog after all. Ayame saved her work, set down her tools. Okay, okay, your boner is poking my butt. I get the hint. No, it's not. It's tucked to the side, he protested. Same thing, she said. Kiss me already. He did. So, what's up? Why are you back? Miss me that much? Ayame asked. I'm beginning to suspect that Hitomi is catty and mean, he said. She seems like it to me, Ayame replied. Scott told her everything that had been happening recently. The spying, looking through his phone, how she had treated Anisha. Anisha is a really direct type. She's very honest. If she felt that if she felt that Hitomi was insulting her, she had her reasons. What should I do? I won't tell you what to do, Scott. It's your relationship with her. I mean, I could tell you to dump her, marry me, hire a maid, and let me get fat, but that's all your decision. What about Junko? Scott asked. Well, you'll have to keep fucking her, of course. We're a set. What was that about you getting fat? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be a big fat wife, lazy as hell, eating rich food all the time, painting nude self portraits and hanging them all over. I can't tell if you're joking. I am, she said. Totally serious. I plan to document my expanding bust and ass, immortalized in paint for you to cherish. And then she burst out giggling. I'm sorry, she said. Okay, I'm not sorry. It's too funny. I wouldn't mind if you did gain weight. Have you seen my ex wife? Scott replied. Does that mean you want to marry me? She asked. Sorry, I'm not ready for that yet. I just need more time, Scott said. It's okay, Scott. I know how long we've known each other, and I'm teasing. All of this was teasing. Truly, it hadn't even been a month. Scott's mind reeled. Ayame had become such an important part of his life so quickly, and Junko too. He was suddenly terrified. The light that burns brightest burns shortest. They were going to leave him. Everybody left him. I'm sorry, Scott said. Do you need space? Am I being overbearing? Smothering? Ayame gave him a kiss. No, Scotto. I want you here in my life, just like you are right now. It's good, Scotto. We have a very good relationship, she soothed. Well, you've never asked me for anything, so I'm not buying you. You aren't getting fame or money out of me. So what will make you stop wanting me? What kind of question is that? She snapped. Ayame pulled back to look at him. What's going on? She demanded. Scott could not explain the horror he felt, but he tried. Aya-chan, a candle that burns hot melts quickly. My marriage was my only relationship to last any length of noticeable time. All the others were over in months. So I want to know, what will make you not want me anymore? Scotto, I love you. I don't say that to every man. I knew who you were before I met you. You proved to be exactly who I thought you were. Snuggly bunny. Like I said before, what we have is what I want. I don't want flowers and balloons. I want to sit on your lap sipping coffee. She touched his cheek then. Will you sing for me? Sing the song your heart wants. Scott took a deep breath, straightened his back, and he sang a medley of individual lines from many different songs. Baby, I'm afraid of the way I need you. I'll be there to love and shelter you. Descending angel, stand by my side. We'll face the night. Two hearts that beat as one. Circle in the sand, round and round. Never ending love is what we found. Baby, dream will come true. That's when we found each other. I was born to be yours. You were born to be mine. You were born to be my baby. And baby, I was made to be your man. I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. Let's sing sha la la la, angel. Kimagure tenshi wa sha la la la, baby. Maybe, maybe it's true that love is a boomerang tossed away. And he sang the last two Japanese songs and took her by surprise. They were old and unfamiliar. Aiwa Boomerang from one of the Urusei Yatsura movies, and the other was from Kimagure Orange Road. And also there was a Maria Takeuchi song, Ayame said, smiling and recalling. Those pieces all together are your heart's song? She asked. Scott nodded. There isn't a perfect song for how I feel about you, but there's one more that comes close. Scott stood up then, and he lifted his voice. I'm thinking about asking you to be Mrs. You and Me. I'm taking a good look inside my heart. I think I'm ready to start. Today could be the day, but I'm waiting for the perfect time and place. And I'm scared what you might say, baby, please. Please don't turn me away. I need you. Who sang that song? Ayame asked. A band nobody but me remembers called Smoking Popes. The album was called Born to Quit. Do you think that you were born to fail? It's what I'm best at. My head is full of useless knowledge. I can't keep a woman at all. My time on stage is almost up, and I'm completely terrified of you. You have the power to destroy me. Ayame didn't know how she could possibly destroy the man she loved, and she told him so. That's why I still trust you, he replied. You, unlike Hitomi, don't know how badly you can hurt me. Does Hitomi hurt you? Ayame demanded. No, but she knows how. She's very perceptive. Scott, I will never hurt you, Ayame promised, and she held out her hand for him. He pulled her to her feet. I'm going to change, and then you are going to make love to Mune Mune, she said, in a tone that allowed no arguments. Scott sighed. He'd all but agreed to costume sex, hadn't he? And what was that daydream he'd had about? In a few minutes, Ayame was wearing lingerie and a costume he hadn't seen before, and that red wig. Mune Mune waved a string of gold foil wrapped condoms at him like a ribbon. In the name of love, Mune Mune, the guardian of lovers and dreamers, is here, she declared, and she struck a pose. Scott politely applauded. Mune Mune tucked the condoms into a pocket. Scott Shaw, how nice to see you again. I missed you, and she blushed when she said it. I heard you sing Mrs. You and Me. She walked forward to press close to him. Could you be Mr. You and Me? Mune Mune, I'm not sure what to say. The magical girl turned half away. I'm lonely, Scott, she admitted. When I'm with you, a fire is burning in my heart. When you sang, when I kissed you, it was so daring. I've never wanted a man the way I want you. She turned to face him again. Someone once said that love does not protect you, but only love can heal a shattered heart. Are you shattered, Shasan? He nodded, trying to suppress sudden tears. What was happening? I can heal you if you let me, she said. All I ask for is that you believe in me. She pulled his hands to her heart. I believe in you, she said. I know there is a hero inside you, Scott. And that broke his composure. He knew he was no hero. He wasn't even much of a warrior. Mune Mune hugged him and pulled him into Ayame's ejaculate stained sheets to lay atop her and catch his tears upon her breast. It's okay, Scott. I want it. You can do it, she urged gently. I have condoms for days. American size. I bought them for you. They did make love then. Mune Mune did not talk or behave the way that Ayame did when they made love. In fact, Ayame was rather prone to kissing more than talking, but Mune Mune seemed to have so much to say, and not the usual either, nor the standard it feels good or the hissing screams that some Japanese women would do. She was attempting a conversation, and I will recreate it for you, minus the ooh babies and such. You're welcome. Scott, I promise I will be good to you. I will always welcome you and hold you close. I will heal you and make you so happy. I can't cook or clean or manage a budget worth anything, but I love you. Aya-chan loves you, but I love you the most, though. Not even Junko or Hitomi loves you as much as me. You saved us, my hero. Scott tried to silence her with kisses, but Mune Mune insisted on having her say. He did not like pretending that she wasn't Ayame, wig and costume aside. That was Ayame's body. Mune Mune seemed to detect this. Say my name, she insisted. Scott said nothing. Roll onto your back and I'll make you say my name. He rolled over, bemused. She made sure her wig was settled, fluffed up her breasts, and removed her lacy bra. Mune Mune is the guardian of lovers and dreamers for good reason, she said, and mounted him. You will say my name. I am not Ayame. Aya-chan, please. I'm okay with the wig, but I don't. And then he had to stop. Ayame does not do this, she said, and rotated her hips slowly but firmly. Does she? Well, she hadn't before. I am Mune Mune. I gave you that condom just for you and me. It's magic. Ayame doesn't have magic condoms. She leaned forward. Say my name, darling, she whispered. The wig was made of some pleasantly smooth, maybe acrylic? You believe in magic. I know you do, she said, breathing heavily. Please, Scott said, I like this, but not this, Ayame. I am Mune Mune, she insisted. Say my name. Defeated, Mune Mune, he said. She kissed him. That's right. Now believe in my magic and pull your heart back together and give it to me. She sang this last part as she stiffened, her face pointed upward and her back arched. Scott was worried, but he was not, well, let's just say he was distracted. And as her body spasmed, his last minute movements triggering some more. She gulped for air and slumped over. Take off the wig. Aya-chan needs to bite you, she whispered. Mune Mune's arms can't move. Her eyes fluttered. Scott was grateful to be done with the play acting and gently took off her wig. Ayame pulled herself close to his neck, gasping and trembling. She gnawed on him weakly. Normally, your fire feeds me and wakes me up, ready to do anything, but Mune Mune used my strength for her magic. She must have come 8 times, Scotto. Did she make you too? You can tell me. Of course, Scott snapped. You know I love your body and making love to you. You made love to Mune Mune, she insisted, and this time she bit him with a bit more force. She doesn't do the love bites like me. Yeah, but I know your body, and I made love to you, not a made up character. Scott, you have to believe in her magic to be healed. Ayame, this is crazy. Exactly. All the normal stuff you tried didn't work, so get weird. Love magic, Scotto. She had to breathe deeply after that. I prayed for you, Scotto. I gave all my power to the spell. Scott was touched. His tickets were at the front desk, and also a package from a fan and a message from his bandmate Mamoru. Chapter 5. Oops, sorry, Chapter 6. No, neither of those. We are in fact in Chapter 4. It is Chapter 4. Safe in his room, he read the message from Mamoru first. It read, Hi, Uncle Scott. Listen, I did the thing where I teased you about being crazy for big boobs on my Instagram, and I hope nothing weird happens because of it. I'm sorry if there are any problems. You can text me about it sometime, okay? Scott shook his head. Bit late for that, but oh well. His tickets and reservation were in order. The package had come from FedEx. He cut it open and examined the packing slip. It was from Togawa Hitomi in Roppongi. He smiled. A DVD that featured their scene together, as well as the other actresses that he had coached and tutored that time. It was called English Class Sex. What a creative title. Also, a Hitomi sized satin bra, black with pink flowers, and a DVD of the movie Labyrinth. Scott texted her, I still don't wear a bra, much less one your size. Oh, you got my package. I've been thinking of you while rehearsing and shooting with my co-star Toguro-san. He's a bit too young, so I pretended he was you for the love scenes. I hope you'll put the new bra on for me so that I can model it for you. And why Labyrinth? Don't you like that movie with the puppets and the Goblin King? I remember you saying you loved that song where the girl dances with the Goblin King. I do, as the world falls down, he replied. Is that what it's called? Yeah. I will be there for you as the world falls down. Right. So think of me, darling. I'll see you again soon, before your trip. The day after, Scott finished his Valentine's fan mail and had just a few letters that arrived later. He decided to do those replies immediately since he was still in the mindset. Junko tapped at his hotel room door. Scott escorted her in. She was wearing reading glasses and an orange sweater with a pleated brown miniskirt. You vixen, he admired. Jinkies. He waved her to make herself at home while he finished his work. Junko sat on the bed and sipped a can of soda. She also packed a small collapsible tripod and a small digital camera. She arranged and adjusted these while he worked. By the time he had placed the last form letter into an envelope and wrote the address by hand, Junko finished her soda and her preparations with the camera. An interview, please, Shasan, she said. Scott combed his hair and beard. All right, Tomuki-san. He sat on the bed, off camera. She pressed record. Shasan, who is your favorite Japanese musician? Matsumoto Hideto, a great guitarist. My favorite composer is Takeuchi Mariya. She's a great singer, too. Does Hide's suicide cause worry about your future? He frowned at this. I have only a little idea of how he suffered. From his music, you know. My struggle is not his. No, I'm not worried. Who is your biggest artistic influence? If I wrote our songs, that would mean something. Let's say Rob Zombie, he snarked. I What are your plans for after you graduate? I'd like to try being a manager. I can always go back to teaching English. Who's your best friend in Champion Beat? They're like my brothers, all of them. We're all best friends. And how about girls on the label? I want to protect them and help them out. I really feel like their uncle. Are you attracted to any of them? I have girlfriends that you know about. I don't want any more, Scott warned. I don't like these questions. I apologize, Shasan. Just one more. Are you excited about the new album? I love working and also performing. I think it will be our best. Thank you. She stopped the recording. What the fuck, Junko? Am I attracted to girls at the label? I am not a lolicon, damn it. Please don't yell at me. I don't like yelling. Junko shrunk visibly. You didn't have to ask those questions, he retorted. I'm sorry, she said. I'll talk to your editor about this. Better, I'll have Yamada-san do it. Junko put her equipment away. I want to just chill out today. Is that okay? She asked. Sure, Velma. Let's relax. I'll put on some music. Scott hit shuffle on his music and plugged his phone into a speaker. Junko relaxed. She put on a smile. I hope you have a portable DVD player. Say, what's that? She asked. The package from Hitomi. Uh, just a box from Hitomi, he replied, dismissing it and then putting it away under a book. Porn, a Love Story by Asa Akira. He faced the title away from Junko. I do have a portable DVD player, Scott said, and he fetched it from his closet. It's region free. He plugged it in by the bed and sat beside Junko, who pulled a DVD out of her purse. It's a surprise, she said, hiding it. Scott obediently covered his eyes. It was a Scooby-Doo animated movie about undead pirates, and for once the monsters were real. Junko quickly distracted him, though. The movie was soon forgotten with kissing and cuddling. I'm your Velma, Scotto, she whispered in English. Help me solve the mystery. More costume play? Okay, what's the mystery? He asked. She sat up and pulled an envelope out of her purse. I got this mysterious letter. Jinkies. Scott took it. A coded message of some kind. I'm good at these in English, he said, but if it's Japanese, it will not be easy. They spent 20 minutes deciphering the message, which was in English. It read, "A man and a woman and another woman in love. Sing me a song, tell me a story, kiss her right now." Scott read it aloud and kissed her. "Sing me a song, Scott?" Junko asked. "The wind in the willows sang softly to me. Follow my voice wherever it leads," he sang, and then translated it a bit literally into Japanese. Junko kissed him. "Tell me a story. A man and a woman in love," she said in English. Scott tried to think of something, but he had no ideas. "I have nothing for you. Sorry," he replied after 2 minutes. "I know a story." Junko fell in love with a singer and learned everything about him she could. All that she learned did nothing to lessen her love for him. Even though he was lazy, had gas, and wasn't very cute, she loved him. He fell in love with her too, because she liked what he liked, and she let him have sex with her. Junko giggled at this. He loved her even though she wasn't sexy, and she was a nerd who collected gotcha toys. They stayed together and didn't worry about their future. "That's it?" Scott asked. "This love story does not end," she replied. And then they both looked at the movie. "Wow, they drew Velma to have big boobs," Junko said. "I feel inadequate." "Don't. She's not a threat to you," Scott replied and flipped down the screen, putting it into sleep mode. "Let's go to the hotel restaurant. I have no idea what time it is, but I'm starving," Scott said. "But Scott, you're naked," Junko replied. "What?" Scott looked at his shirt. "Monkeys always look," Junko teased. "Just for that, no dessert," he growled. "I'll get all my sweetness from your kisses," she replied. Scott held his nose. "That was bad," he said. "Let's go," she said, and pulled him up. Well, she tugged on his hands, and then he stood up. "Seriously, I don't like thinking about Hide's death. I prefer to think of his music," Scott said. Junko apologized. "I don't know why I asked that. I'm happy. I won't hurt myself. I promise." They went to eat in the lobby restaurant, one of the few places that Scott could get a steak that he could afford. He crumbled blue cheese over the top and let it melt a little. "So, Ayame made me have sex with Mune Mune. I did not enjoy that. I have told her I want Mune Mune to stay at the cafe." He sipped his water. "What's worse, she made me call her that name." Junko asked, "Are you unhappy then with my costume?" "No, because you aren't making me pretend that you're actually Velma Dinkley. You're still Junko. And Mune Mune is a bit too much to deal with in a normal setting, right?" she asked. "It's not that. It's just the pretending that she's a separate person thing. If it was just play, it'd be okay. But Ayame talks like Mune Mune is a real person." Scott's phone buzzed. He ignored it. "She said that Mune Mune is everything she's not," Scott said. "That's not encouraging to hear," Junko agreed. "Thank you," Scott replied, and then he began to eat his steak. "I'd hate to think that I was overreacting." "I'll talk to her about it, Scott. Maybe we can get it sorted." "Thank you. I worry about her." "So I wonder why your ex is so angry at you still." "You aren't her problem anymore," Junko said. And then lightning struck Scott's mind. He opened his eyes wide. "Darling, do you have a notepad?" he asked. "Yeah." She dug it out of her purse, and also a pen. Scott began writing, and ignored his delicious steak dinner with teriyaki sauce over the rice. How he liked it. "I'm writing a song," he explained, but then he focused on his task. Junko recognized inspiration, and she ate quietly. She also cut off a piece of his steak and ate it. She liked it, but the next piece that she cut was for Scott. She put it gently to his mouth.